On Larry King Now, her candid and unapologetic style has made her broadcasting royalty. It's Wendy Williams.
I don't mind all areas, but my favorite thing is doing the Wendy Williams Show. It's my favorite. I love it, Larry.
You ever second guess yourself? You ever feel sorry about talking about something?
Depends on what the overnight numbers do. To me, if you can't be you, then you might as well not have a show. Also, if you can't laugh at yourself and with everyone laughing at you or with you, then you might as well, go home. We need to take care of each other as families and not rely on these politicians, because this race is a mess.
Plus,
Kanye wanted to change the title of his album that he's about to put out. It was going to be called Swish, and he wanted to change the name to Wave. Well, there's another rapper who's in. Do you really want to hear this story?
I don't know if I do.
I have a headache.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now in New York City with the wonderful Wendy Williams, the hilariously candid author, radio personality, and of course, long-standing talk show host. Not 25 years yet, like yours truly, but still going strong. Her syndicated daytime show, The Wendy Williams Show, is in its 7th season and was just renewed through 2020.
That'll make us 11.
In the business. Now,
Yeah.
that's historic.
Yeah.
What do you think did it for you, Wendy, the old radio girl?
Support from Lionsgate and Debmar Mercury. The parent company is Lionsgate. Debmar Mercury are my immediate partners with the show. A fearless host. I'm fearless. And a great staff. I see all these people running around here for you.
That's what counts.
If you don't have good people.
Why is daytime TV so tough?
Because there's other stuff on daytime TV that's easier and cheaper to produce. Court shows cost nothing. Talk shows cost more. A successful talk show costs quite a bit. And people are fickle. The audience, whether it's daytime TV or nighttime TV, people are fickle.
Last time you were on the show, I asked you why much of your competition hasn't lasted, and you said there's no rhyme or reason. You still feel that way? Why competition comes and goes and you keep hanging around?
I guess I've caught on like a virus. People...
Well, you're you, right? Always you.
Yes. And to me, if you can't be you, then you might as well not have a show. Also, if you can't laugh at yourself and with everyone laughing at you or with you, then you might as well, go home. Life is tough enough. 1 hour of laughter and silliness. I love doing our show. And I think that people sense that.
You should. You've been let's get into some issues. You've been very outspoken about this ongoing Twitter feud between Kanye West and Amber Rose. I'm told this because I'm not into it. So.
I was going to say, Larry, really? You're talking about this?
No, explain it to me. In particular, towards Kanye West and his wife. What is the story? Help me as a neophyte.
Okay. Well, Kanye is married to Kim.
I know.
If that's what you want to call that relationship, a marriage. And they have 2 children, a daughter and now recently a son. And Amber was Kanye's longtime girlfriend. Nobody had ever heard of Amber Rose before Amber got with Kanye. Prior to that, she was a girl from Philadelphia, and she's talked about this. She was a stripper, and she started stripping well before 20 years old. And a lot of that money that she was making stripping, she was using to help support her family in Philadelphia. So she and Kanye got together. Do you really want to hear this story?
I don't know if I do.
I have a headache.
Why do you discuss it on your show?
Yes. But by the
time...
time...
have you gotten everybody mad at you? Is that what's happened?
Larry.
Tell me.
I've lasted because I don't care. I don't know whether they're mad or not, but, I don't read the comments. Do you read the comments?
No.
I like to just do the show and go home.
How do you say that it's not a real marriage? How do you know that it's not a real marriage?
Well, I don't know for a fact, but certainly a man going on... Larry, are we still dealing with this?
Okay, I'll get away from it. Have you had Kim on? You've had Kim on.
I know. Kim's been on. Kanye's been on my radio show. Kim's been on both radio and TV. Wiz Khalifa, both radio, TV. Amber, just TV.
All right, explain something to me. This year needs explaining.
Okay.
The Kardashians. Explain that.
They are a family who.
What?
Well, they do have a talent, and of making you watch, of making you watch. You know what I mean? Everybody can't. There's not a seat in Harvard for all of us. You know,
no. It doesn't have to be Harvard, but
or UCLA. You know, I believe they do have a talent, and their talent is making you pay attention, and that is a talent, Larry, especially when you don't have an actual talent. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. I think. In other words, if you don't really have a talent, but can get people to watch you, that's a talent.
That's a talent.
That's catch-22.
Well, you know, Larry, and they've been in people's living rooms now for about 10 years, and the family only seems to be getting more wealthy and more wealthy. You know, what does your friend Ryan Seacrest say about their talent? He's part of the evil genius behind this whole thing.
But I was saying, if they came together, let's say 10 years ago, you didn't know who they were. I knew Bob Kardashian very well.
Yeah.
And they said to you, we want to go on television. We'd like to do a television show. Okay, what do you do? Do you sing? What do you do?
Yeah.
And we have a talent for for being on.
Yeah. You know, but I wasn't that progressive 10 years ago. I would have said, no, you know, what are you going to do when you get on the TV? But now I understand you don't have to do anything. And look at all the reality shows, like who's doing what, and they're still on TV.
Right. So why would she be a guest on your show? Because she'll have ratings, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Does she have something to say?
I mean, besides, oh my God, with the vocal fry, Larry. You know what? Based on, for instance, Kim's Twitter followers and her Instagrams, and how many people like her pictures, how many people buy what she says, whether it's the new lip gloss or the new eyeliner. Yes, women are into it, and guys still think that they're a sexy family. Larry.
She's a riot. When we come back, we'll reflect on Wendy's long-standing broadcast career. We'll chat some politics. Don't go away. Our guest is the wonderful Wendy Williams. Always love having her on, love being on her show. You're a great talent. It's wonderful to be around you.
Thank you, Larry.
You vibrate the room.
Thank you, Larry.
We both come from radio. I found television an easy transition. I was very young. This was 1958.
Oh.
Did you ever think about television being different?
Yes, in many ways. First of all, I never really thought about television. You know, what I wanted to do was be a radio broadcaster. That is what I wanted to do since I was in 6th grade.
Me too.
And I went to college and immediately fell in love with exactly what my dream was. From the moment the mic was on, I was like, oh my gosh. And the idea of being, you know, at the top of the heap, you know, here in New York, you know, the capital of the world. Just enough popularity to get asked to be on particular talk shows. I did a little bit of TV stuff, but enough anonymity where I could still just go home and mind my own business. And that I was fine with that life, Larry. And when the talk show came along, yeah, it was a bit of a transition. I'm going to tell you why. First of all, on the radio, I always had a 4-hour shift or a 5-hour shift, either 4 or 5. And my breaks were mine to dictate. I could talk as long as I wanted, go into a commercial and come back. This TV thing, you know, you got a 7-minute segment with somebody interesting like you've been on the show. If I have more to say and we go to 8 or 9 minutes, we get cut off by a paper towel commercial.
Yeah, right.
So that right there, I pay very close attention to my floor manager. Also, the idea of watching the monitors. You know, in radio, you know, you're not watching anything. On TV, I'm like, oh my gosh, sit up straight. Oh my gosh, stop slouching. Oh my gosh, I hate this dress.
But so many radio people don't make it on television
That's
because
what
they fear the camera
Yeah.
or something, or I don't know what it is, because I never feared the camera.
Yeah.
I treat the camera like a microphone.
Do you love radio or TV better?
I like them both. They're different. TV's more kinetic.
Yeah.
But radio is still, there's something special about radio.
Radio.
The theater of the mind.
I was about to say that. Radio allows you to really draw pictures in people's minds. And I also feel as though it's more intimate.
Oh, sure.
You know, you're in the car with somebody and you're talking to them, and you know the cadence of your voice. It's very soothing.
You have to listen.
You have to listen.
Have you talk about every topic, right,
Yeah.
in the world. You ever second guess yourself? You ever feel sorry about talking about something?
Depends on what the overnight numbers do.
That's funny. That's honest.
No, Larry, I don't second guess. But I do speak very thoughtfully on the show. I had a professor when I was in college, Professor Eastman, and he used to tell me, Wendy, you'd be a good broadcaster if you would slow down what you're saying so people understand and can connect with you, and also stop saying like it,
Or you know.
or you know.
That's the worst.
Yes, yes.
Is there any topic you won't get into?
I'm soft on politics, Larry.
Why?
Because I think that politics are very divisive. I speak about them with much trepidation.
So you won't discuss a candidate this election? You won't discuss?
I don't even know who I'm going to vote for, Larry, and that's all I'm going to say. What a mess. What a mess.
It is.
I mean, Donald Trump, great guy, off the political trail. But the political trail is like, Hillary, just because she's a woman doesn't mean I have to vote for her. Bernie Sanders, is he going to make it to the election? That's a bad 74, Larry.
But you follow it, don't you?
I follow. You know, I stare and then turn away.
Well, what do you make of Trump? I know him forever. Donald's an old friend. What do you make of this whole Trump scenario?
I would like to believe that he's not racist and that he's just sometimes less than thoughtful about other people when he speaks. He's been on our show several times. I do enjoy Celebrity Apprentice. You know, my heart is aching because now they have Arnold Schwarzenegger hosting it because Trump is you know, campaigning. I wish he'd get off the campaign trail and get back in that boardroom. I mean, Arnold's good, but...
Have you seen Arnold hasn't done it yet?
No.
You think he'll be good?
I don't know.
So you don't support any candidate? You don't take a stand in that area?
I vote. I'm confused right now. I think I just might go in the room, pull the curtain. This is how old school I am. Go in the room, pull the curtain, twirl around 20 times, and wherever my finger lands. And then go home and take care of the four walls of my house and make sure that we need to take care of each other as families and not rely on these politicians because this race is a mess.
After the break, Wendy's dream guest in the game of If You Only Knew. Stay with us. Our guest is the wonderful Wendy Williams, just renewed. She'll be with you until 2020.
Ta-da!
Guaranteed. Last time I had you on, you told me you wanted to go out and do stand-up comedy. Did you?
I did.
And?
I did well. I got standing ovations and everything. Some sold out places. The biggest place I told jokes, which I don't tell jokes, I tell stories. And I don't stand up, I sit down. You know?
But was it a hit? Did you enjoy?
Yes, 2,000 people. I forgot where I was at that location. The Venetian sold out, 750 people. And it's really it's a breath of fresh air.
And I do a lot of it. Isn't it the biggest kick? It's a big kick to me to make people laugh.
Yes.
You know, that's the biggest kick in the world.
But I love it, and I love it without having to think about the FCC. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? When I do my sit-down tour, I've been to 21 cities so far.
You call it a sit-down tour.
A sit-down tour. When I do the sit-down, I have a nice chair. I bring a DJ, and you know when the spirit hits me, I stand up and I might walk over there and walk back and then sit down again. But it's just so different. People have drinks, and you can curse when need be, and the FCC is not looking over your shoulder. You know, in all my almost 30 years, I've never cursed on the air. Have you ever cursed?
Never.
Isn't that weird?
It's just in my soul. It's just
Me too.
against my training.
Me too. I don't curse in front of my parents, though, either.
No, I never did.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Tell me about now the home shop. You become an institution. You're a global. You're a corporation. What is the Home Shopping Network?
Well, the Home Shopping Network is a wonderful place that people can go and purchase wonderful things.
That you
from household-
design?
Well, for the Wendy Williams collection, yes, I've designed them. Of course, with some very helpful manufacturers and stuff, but I wouldn't put my name on something that I didn't believe in. And the stuff that I like is, like I like a wrap dress, and I like pencil skirts, and I like, scuba pants and leggings and athleisure type stuff. And I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary there, and the line has been doing very well. The next time that I go to Tampa, that's where they're based, to present, on TV, will be in March, and I'll present my next collection.
Wow.
Yeah.
This home shopping network and QVC, they're like gold mines.
Listen, if you can do well and be truthful to the stuff that you're putting out there, then you can do very well.
All right, we're going to throw some questions at you,
Okay.
Joseph. Who intimidates you?
Well, on our show, the last person that intimidated me was Judge Judy.
The moment you knew you'd made it.
Oh God, Larry, this is hard.
Was there a moment?
In 1993, I got the Billboard magazine Radio Personality of the Year. And at that point, Billboard led the race, and that was 93. So I knew I just got to keep pedaling.
Favorite interview?
Most recently, Jerry O'Connell. You know him.
Yeah.
He's married to Rebecca.
Yeah.
Such a funny man. He was so engaging. He knew his hot topics. He went in the audience and danced with my people. He was just, he was very fun.
Least favorite interview? Don't want to say. What makes you laugh?
Puppies.
Pet peeve?
Oh, gee. People who want me to do my show with no wig. Like, I hate that. I'm not reducing myself to that particular cheap trick. And no makeup. Like, when are you going to do a show with no wig? We want to see your natural hair. Well, I wear wigs because I have thyroid disease, first of all. Thyroid disease, it thins your hair, Larry. Do you understand?
No, I didn't know that.
It thins your hair in a lot of cases and thins the outer corners of your eyebrows, and it also gives you a starey scare. So I have to make a concerted effort not to look at you like psycho. But I hate when people do these, they say, when are you going to do the show with no makeup and no hair? Like, for what?
If you could interview someone no longer with us, who would it be?
Anna Nicole Smith.
I interviewed her many times.
She was wonderful, wasn't she?
I loved her.
There's certain people that you remember where you were when the news was. Like, I remember we were in Aruba as a family, and I'd left something in the hotel room, and I went in, and the TV was still on, and I was stunned. My husband comes in the room. He's like, "You've been here for 2 hours. What is going on?" I said, "Anna died." And I cried like she was a family member. I remember where I was with OJ. By the way, congratulations on that role.
Oh, thank you.
I was at the radio station. I'd just gotten off my shift. And I could not move. I'm like looking and watching and then realizing, okay, this is a slow car chase, so I can make it back to my apartment and continue watching.
Celebrity the media pays too much attention to.
That family.
What keeps you up at night? Jeez. What do you worry about?
Keeping it going. Keeping all the balls in the air.
Biggest splurge?
Jewelry.
I can tell. What can't you live without?
Love.
Best advice you ever got?
Stand up straight and hold your stomach in. My great-grandmother Isadora, I grew up a fat kid, so she's like, stand up straight, roll your shoulders back and hold your stomach in, implying no man's going to want you if you're slumped over with a pot belly.
Favorite thing about being famous?
Going home at the end of the day. It's very refreshing. We live in Jersey. The Hudson River separates my life. I go back to Jersey. I'm in the house. I'm dealing with the dog, grocery shopping with my kid or whatever. It's very normal.
What does your husband do?
My husband is my manager, and he's also one of the executive producers of the show. So
he's with you all the time?
No, not all the time. I do the show, like we're together, at the show, but then afterwards I go on with my life, which is a part of being, Wendy Hunter, that's my marital name, and my husband is still in the city, making it happen. I quarterback the ball to him. So when I say, bye everybody, I love you for watching, here honey, take the ball.
Did he come from television originally?
No, he came from Brownsville, Brooklyn.
I was born there.
The School of Hard Knocks, and but we've been married now for almost 20 years, and together for about 24 years, and our son is 15, and so it's like a family business. He's smart as a whip, and really good managing the talent.
If you come out of Brownsville, you're smart.
Yes.
In our final moments, Wendy will take your questions. Don't go away. We're back with our closing moments with Wendy Williams. Before we take some social media questions, I'm told you're joining the fight to improve heart health.
Yes.
In what way?
Well, Burlington, as well as Women Heart, and me, we are partnered up to spread the word about heart disease, which is the #1 killer of women across the board, across the world.
Much more than breast cancer.
Much more than breast cancer. Isn't that surprising?
Yeah, I have a foundation. I learned all about it.
Yeah, and then within the group of women, women of colors, Latino women and Black women are dying at a faster rate than white women. But we're all in this together. And, when I was 20 and running around town and having a good time, I wasn't thinking about heart disease. I met somebody last night. I was socializing. She was 18 years old when she was diagnosed. There was one girl there who was 30 years old. She's now 41 when she was diagnosed. That, I was the oldest one in the room, and I'm just like, I'm the only one with no heart disease. Oh my gosh. So to be able to spread the word that it's killing us at a rapid rate. Now, you can't say that one thing is necessarily the thing that's going to prevent it, but you can look at your family history, particularly your mother's side. That's the side. But if your mother has not had it and your grandmother hasn't had it, it has to start someplace. So you got to take care of yourself. Maybe less meat or no meat, a little bit more exercise.
People also, they say doctors don't take women that seriously if they have chest pain.
Right.
And not only that, I've thought about this. Heart attack is a male term. If I told you someone out there just had a heart attack, you'd expect to see a man.
I would.
It's a kind of a male term.
Yeah.
But women have as many as men.
Yeah.
That message still has to get out.
Yeah.
We have some social media questions for you.
Okay.
Joe B on Facebook. How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, I love saying that, don't you? How you doing? That's Joey's message.
Yes.
At Miss Redden on Twitter, what is your best piece of advice for a woman under the age of 18 going into today's world?
Oh gosh. Okay, this is you're gonna laugh, but this is real. When you start becoming sexually active, always put on something after the deed is done, because people are very sneaky these days. He pulls the covers back ever so gently, takes a camera phone picture of you and puts it on social media.
You're kidding.
Come on now, Larry. It's going down out here in these streets. People do vindictive things. People do horrible things. I mean, back in the day, it was like roofies and a drink. These days, those camera phones are wicked.
Wow.
One wrong picture.
Never thought of that.
That's why I'm here.
Good line. Leslie Berry on the Larry King Now blog. How do you sustain an interview when the guest is only giving you short answers?
Call him out on it.
Yeah. Speak.
Yes! Why are you talking to me like this? This is an interview. Please stop saying yes and no. Come on now, come on now, come on now. Yeah.
Ann Berry also asked, would you ever consider moving to Los Angeles? You'd like it.
For the, you know what? I love LA. I love you all's weather, but I am a New York girl. I would maybe move there for 3 months, and then come back here. I'm not an LA girl though.
Ashley Butin on the Larry King Now blog. Do you want to break into other areas of the industry like acting?
Well, I've done some acting. I was in Chicago on Broadway.
Oh, did you do it? How long?
Yeah, for 8 weeks. I was on Broadway in Chicago.
You play the
Matron Mama Morton, the same role all the black girls play, all big black girls. You know it.
It's a great show.
It's a wonderful show, and I had the best time. I like acting. I've dabbled. I've been in a couple of movies, small parts. I have a movie coming out this summer where I play Wendy Williams, a talk show host, with Zac Efron.
Not bad.
But yeah, so I don't mind all areas, but my favorite thing is doing the Wendy Williams Show. It's my favorite. I love it, Larry.
Why not?
Yeah.
Ken Dawson, did you ever fear you push it too far with your commentary? Do you ever regret anything?
I don't regret it. Do I push it too far? Sometimes I do, but I've never been soft-spoken. I gotta say it like I mean it.
When you're coming into work, is that when you think about what you're going to say?
No. It's usually when I'm right there. No, I get briefed with my producer. You know, I come in the morning and producers are briefing me on what all is doing and what's going on. And I am also a professor of pop culture, as the kids on the show like to tell me. You know, the professor of pop culture. So I watch all of the shows with the scoop. Deborah Norville at the Inside Edition. You know, I watch all these shows. I read all the magazines and everything. And then my staff, producers, they come up with stuff. I tell them yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Oh, and by the way, you guys missed this story. So, you know, because I don't just host the show, I'm an executive producer on the show, and I take that role very seriously.
So you approve all the guests?
Yes, absolutely.
Wendy, you're a doll. Continued good luck,
Larry.
and congratulations on the extended contract.
Thank you, Larry.
The great Wendy Williams, I love her. Special thanks to her. Anytime she wants, she can be on this show. Be sure to tune into her daytime show, The Wendy Williams Show. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things, and I'll see you next time from New York. Forget about it.